I love watching fireworks, whether it's at East Ardsley Cricket Club or Morley Rugby Club for bonfire night, or at Gildersham and Driglington Christmas lights switch-on events. I think they're spectacular, certainly when part of an organised display. My son Arthur, who's a year old now, absolutely loved the ones in Gildersham last year, and I'm absolutely certain he would have said thank you to the parish council if he were able. In the past, I've also tuned in on TV to watch the fireworks in London on New Year's Eve, but these days I typically just watch them all go off in unison across Leeds from Wortley. So I want to be clear that I approach this debate as somebody who enjoys fireworks as much as anybody else. But for a long time now, it's become clear that something isn't right here. My constituents have been contacting me in great numbers to state that both the volume and the frequency of firework use has been increasing, and it's having a much more negative impact on their lives than it used to. Their freedom to live their lives in peace is being restricted at certain times of the year. And it's not just the big events. It's actually the weeks and the months of fireworks before and after these events that are driving people to contact me. Fireworks being set off every week and every day for a whole week straight from the same location. Loud explosions every night for days on end. People with PTSD, those with special educational needs, those with pets and animals, constantly having to mitigate the impact of fireworks on their lives. The freedom to buy and use these fireworks needs to be balanced against the freedom to live our lives in peace. And it affects people in different ways. One of my constituents, Gareth, has been diagnosed with autism. He told me that fireworks give him sleepless nights and put him in a state of high alert, especially when he can't plan for when they're going to be set off. And in another area, we've heard repeatedly from members across the chamber today, Combat Stress, the charity, say that 74% of veterans surveyed want to see restrictions on when these fireworks can be set off. Now, I've been speaking with a veteran in Leeds South West and Morley, a person who served our country with great distinction, and I'd like to share their words with you now. November arrives, and I have to adapt my routine to make sure I've always got my headphones in my pocket. Otherwise, I'll be taken straight back to being on tour, experiencing feelings and emotions that I'd rather never encounter again. Fireworks trigger the memories, the sounds, the gunfire. Scenes replay over and over with every firework. The smell comes back, the noise, the image, the grief. While I understand the joy that fireworks bring some and the heritage and the history of our country that we should hold on to, I fail to see why they need to be so loud. I am greatly in favour of planned firework displays so I know what time they're going off and I can plan ahead and be ready with my headphones. I would urge a reduction in the maximum noise allowed and the sale only to be used for organised displays. Now, I have received so much feedback, Ms Jardine, in response to the debate today, but I wanted to share those words as it gets to the heart of the argument that's been made. So at this point, I'd like to ask the Minister, does the government have any plans to reduce the noise that fireworks make? In addition to that, does the government plan to go any further and restrict the sale of fireworks entirely so that only those using them as part of organised professional displays are able to get their hands on them? My constituents have also asked me to raise the enforcement of existing laws too. What can the government do to ensure that no fireworks are set off between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m, which is currently the law for every night of the year except key holidays? And what will the government do to crack down on those who sell fireworks illegally, because we know it's happening? But of course, even if the current legislation was enforced, the persistent issues with frequency and volume will endure. So my asks today are very straightforward. At a minimum, let's turn down the volume on fireworks sold to the public and let's enforce existing laws. Beyond that, I do think the government should seriously consider the merits of going further and restricting their sale for professional displays only. But we should all do our bit to support our veterans and our vulnerable constituents. Let's continue to enjoy the wonderful firework displays at key times of the year. I know I certainly will. Let's readjust the scales and let's get the balance right between those freedoms, because the freedom to enjoy fireworks must be carefully balanced against the freedom to live our lives in peace. Thank you.